Chosen one. This message is not an accident. It found you at the exact moment you were meant to receive it. You didn't stumble upon this video. August 8th and 9th aren't just dates on a calendar. They're portals, turning points, spiritual gateways that only open once in a while. And when they do, everything around you starts shifting. Energy moves, patterns break, hidden forces rise. If you're not aligned with what's coming, you will miss what was meant for you. Not by chance, but by neglect. Here's the truth. These 2 days carry divine assignments. Some people will meet the right mentor. Some will receive the breakthrough they've prayed for. Others, they'll be tested like never before. God doesn't operate on human time. He moves in divine cycles. And August 8th and 9th, they're part of his cycle of reversal, restoration, and revelation. You've felt it already. The pressure, the silence, the feeling that something is about to snap. That isn't fear, that's spiritual awareness. And if you ignore it, if you sleep through these days like nothing's different, you may delay what God was ready to release. Or worse, lose it entirely. Chosen one, your timeline is being adjusted. But only if you respond. Only if you prepare. This isn't about rituals or superstition. It's about spiritual sensitivity. God said, "I will whisper before I roar." And right now, he's whispering. He's showing you signs. Repeated numbers, strange dreams, sudden tension. People pulling away. Plans falling through. It's not chaos, it's cleansing. The old must collapse for the new to begin. So here's what you need to do. Spend time in quiet on these days. Ask boldly for clarity. Fast if you're led to. Cut ties with distractions and doubters. Write your vision like it already exists. Because those who ignore the signal will stay stuck. But those who move will shift dimensions. This window won't stay open forever. Chosen one, if your spirit feels this message was for you, then it was. Don't scroll past it. There's still time to align before it's too late. Subscribe to Chosen Core now, and stay ready for what heaven is about to do through you. Chosen one. What's coming in these 2 days is bigger than a blessing. It's a divine verdict. Heaven is about to approve or delay what you've been asking for. And the weight of that decision will depend on your readiness. You've been feeling disconnected from people, right? Things that once excited you now feel empty. Conversations drain you, places feel heavy. You're not broken, you're being spiritually upgraded. God is stripping away the noise. Because these 48 hours are about alignment, not attachment. If you're clinging to what he's trying to remove, you won't receive what he's trying to release. You're not just walking into any random week. You're walking into an appointed time. A time when veils are lifted. When deception is exposed. When the spiritual realm becomes louder than the physical. That's why your mind feels pulled in 2 directions. Part of you wants to move forward. Part of you feels stuck in old habits. That's not confusion, that's separation. Heaven is separating the chosen from the comfortable, the anointed from the average. And you, yes, you, are being asked to choose. Stay tied to what's safe, or step into the storm of your calling. You've come too far to sleep now. You didn't survive that heartbreak, that loss, that betrayal, just to miss this moment. August 8th and 9th are not just about dates, they're about decisions. Your obedience in these 2 days could unlock your next 10 years. You're not being attacked, you're being awakened. The pressure you're feeling isn't punishment, it's preparation. God doesn't test the ones he hasn't chosen. And he doesn't send warnings without a reason. If your spirit feels restless right now, it's because heaven is getting ready to place something heavy in your hands. But listen carefully. Weight requires structure. If your foundation is weak, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. What's meant to bless you could break you. That's why the storm came. That's why people walked away. That's why plans collapsed without warning. Because God needed to remove what couldn't carry where He's taking you. August 8th and 9th are days of divine separation. You may feel lonely, isolated, misunderstood. But don't resist it. That isolation is sacred. No one else can hear the instruction meant for you. No one else can walk the path God has laid out for you. That's why He made you invisible for a while. Because public favor must follow private preparation. And right now, the heavens are watching. Will you stay consistent when nothing around you makes sense? Will you stay faithful when the results haven't shown up yet? Because here's the hidden truth. These 2 days will reveal who's truly chosen and who's just comfortable, chosen one. This isn't about doing more. It's about becoming more. You don't need to chase anything in this season. You need to align. Because when alignment happens, what's meant for you starts chasing you. You're not late. You didn't miss it. But you are at the edge of something that demands a different version of you. The old mindset won't survive the new assignment. And that's why everything is feeling uncomfortable, because growth always starts with agitation. Look around you. Some people are going to sleep through August 8th and 9th. They'll scroll, complain, distract themselves, laugh at signs, and then wonder why nothing in their life ever shifts. But not you. You've been marked, set apart, pulled back from things you used to love. Because your future requires a level of focus the past never demanded. You feel different because you are different. And now heaven is saying, let's see what you do when the moment arrives. Your spiritual sensitivity in the next 48 hours matters more than anything else right now. Because answers are coming, but they will not be loud. They will not be obvious. They will come in silence, signs, and sudden inner knowing. Stay in the posture of listening. Because heaven doesn't shout to the crowd, it whispers to the chosen. Chosen one. August 8th and 9th carry divine weight because they are days of revealing. God isn't just moving things in your favor. He's exposing what's been blocking you all along. Expect people to suddenly show their true colors. Expect hidden motives to rise to the surface. Expect your spirit to feel what your mind can't explain. Because when heaven opens a window, the light doesn't just reveal the path forward, it also exposes the shadows. And here where most people fail. They pray for breakthrough, but run from truth. They ask for purpose, but ignore conviction. They want to be chosen, but can't handle the cost of clarity. You are not most people. God has kept you in spiritual training for this very moment. You weren't just being delayed, you were being disqualified from distractions. You weren't being rejected, you were being redirected into alignment. Every no you faced was protection. Every closed door was precision. And now, every second of August 8th and 9th is sacred. This is not a time to beg. This is a time to declare. Stand in your authority. Speak what you see in the spirit, not just what's around you in the physical. Because your words now carry creative power. They build, they break, they activate. What you speak during this window may echo for years. Chosen one. The reason your warfare increased lately isn't because you're weak. It's because you're close. Close to clarity. Close to the shift. Close to the moment where everything that didn't make sense will suddenly align. But hear the warning. Spiritual resistance always spikes right before divine release. Distractions intensify. Doubts creep in. Old habits tempt you again. People you've outgrown suddenly resurface. Why? Because the enemy knows what's coming. And if he can't destroy you, he'll try to delay you. Don't fall for it. This is the part where most give up, not because they're not strong, but because they don't realize how close they are. You've been asking for confirmation. Here it is. August 8th and 9th are not random, they're prophetic. They are timed collisions between destiny and decision. If you press in now, if you stay alert, obedient, and aligned, you will not leave this window the same person. And listen closely. Something is being released in the unseen. Your name is being spoken in rooms you've never entered. Your obedience is echoing in dimensions you can't yet see. All of heaven is watching. Will you steward this moment or sleep through it? Will you act like it's just another day, or will you treat it like destiny? Because God does not waste alignment, and He doesn't repeat cycles unless He has to. This moment may not come again, chosen one. There are moments in life when heaven waits for your move before it makes its move. August 8th and 9th are exactly that, moments where the response of your spirit determines the release of your future. You may not see the shift with your eyes yet, but your spirit already knows it's here. That tension you feel, that discomfort, it's divine labor. You are about to give birth to something no one sees coming. But here the key. Birth requires pressure, and pressure reveals what's real. Fake friendships can't survive this part. Old patterns can't breathe in this atmosphere. Small thinking will choke the vision God is now planting inside you. This is why your circle is getting smaller. This is why silence surrounds you. This is why you feel both excitement and fear at the same time. You're being pulled into a future your past has no access to. Chosen one, the days of fitting in are over. You were never meant to blend. You were never meant to play small. That's why mediocrity always made you feel sick. That's why temporary success never satisfied you. Because your spirit was wired for the eternal. Not for applause, not for attention, but for assignment. And now God is saying, step fully in or stay where you've always been. There will be no middle ground in this window. No lukewarm, no almost. Only yes or no. Only alignment or avoidance. Chosen one. There's a reason your soul has been restless. You're not just tired, you're outgrowing what no longer fits your destiny. August 8th and 9th are not days to survive, they're days to decide. God is separating the wheat from the weeds, the serious from the spectators, the warriors from the watchers, the old version of you, the one that tolerated disrespect, stayed quiet to keep the peace, doubted their own gifts, and second-guessed every divine nudge. That version cannot cross this line. You feel like you're losing pieces of yourself. But what you're really losing is access to everything that kept you small. And here's the part no one talks about. Elevation feels like loss before it looks like gain. You may cry. You may feel alone. You may feel like you're walking blindfolded. But God doesn't need you to see the whole staircase. He just needs you to take the next step in faith. And these 2 days are the step. Don't waste your energy explaining your calling to those who never saw your pain. Don't delay obedience waiting for comfort. Don't lower your standard to keep someone who's not willing to rise. Chosen one, what's about to be unlocked in your life will require every ounce of your faith. But the reward will make every hidden battle worth it. Chosen one, you're not walking into these days empty-handed. You're carrying seeds, seeds that were planted in your suffering, watered with your tears and guarded by your silence. But hear the truth. Seeds don't stay hidden forever. And when heaven chooses the moment, they must break open. That's what August 8th and 9th are about, break open moments. The pressure you've been under. It wasn't to destroy you, it was to split the shell. Because until the shell breaks, the life inside can't come forth. God is not trying to hurt you. He's trying to release you. Release the gift, the ideas, the strength, the boldness that has been buried under years of survival mode. You were never meant to just make it. You were meant to move mountains. But don't be surprised if everything around you starts to shake. Because when heaven moves, the earth always responds. Relationships will shift. Opportunities will rearrange. Timelines will accelerate. Why? Because divine release comes with divine reordering. You may not recognize the path, but your spirit will say, "This is it. This is the moment I was made for." So when August 8th and 9th come, don't hesitate. Don't overthink. Don't wait for a crowd to confirm what God already whispered to your soul in private. This is your cue to walk different. Chosen one. You've been hidden long enough. The silence, the rejection, the delays, it all had a purpose. Not to punish you, but to prepare you for a stage that requires substance, not noise. Heaven never promotes without preparation. And preparation often feels like abandonment. You prayed for purpose, but you didn't know purpose would come wrapped in isolation, closed doors, and divine detours. But hear this clearly. Nothing was wasted. Not the pain. Not the waiting. Not the nights you wanted to quit, but kept going anyway. It all led to now. August 8th and 9th are activation points. The kind that only show up once the old you is fully surrendered. The kind that carry consequences if you ignore them. Because here's what no one wants to say. God doesn't keep waiting forever. There comes a time when grace becomes movement. When delay becomes disobedience. When staying in the same place becomes rebellion against your own calling. This is that time. You'll either rise or you'll repeat. You'll either break through or break down. But you won't be able to stay the same. And deep down, you already know that. That's why your spirit has been uneasy. Because it senses the shift. And whether or not you feel ready, you've been made ready, chosen one. This is not the season to ask for permission. You've spent too long shrinking your voice, doubting your gifts, and waiting for confirmation from people who were never called to understand your calling. August 8th and 9th were never meant to feel normal, because you're not meant for a normal life. You were built for impact, for legacy, for kingdom authority. But authority doesn't just get handed to you, it gets proven in private. And that's what this season has been. A divine proving ground. God watching to see. Would you remain faithful with no applause? Would you keep walking when there was no map? Would you trust Him when every voice around you went silent? And now heaven has seen enough. These days mark a transition. From preparation to positioning. From promise to possession. But understand this. You can't step into what's next with the habits of what was. The fear has to die here. The doubt has to die here. The need for validation has to die here. Because what's coming isn't small. It isn't safe. It isn't something you can casually carry while living like you used to. It's weighty. It's divine. And it requires your full yes. So ask yourself, am I really ready to let go of the version of me that survived? So I can step into the one that's called to lead. Chosen one. You need to hear this clearly. This moment will not wait for you. Heaven is moving now. The clock has started. The alignment has already begun. What you do with August 8th and 9th will echo far beyond these 2 days. This is not about hype. This is not about trends. This is spiritual territory. If you've been feeling like your life is stuck between what was and what could be, it's because you're standing in a narrow place. the space between death and destiny. And in that narrow place, everything feels tight, confusing, uncertain. You question your progress. You feel unseen. You battle voices that say, maybe you missed it, maybe it's too late. But you didn't miss it. You're not late. You're on schedule for divine interruption. And interruption is messy. It's uncomfortable. It dismantles everything that made sense. But it also reconstructs your life around the truth God originally planted inside of you. He's not interested in fixing the version of your life you built in survival. He's interested in resurrecting the version that carries power, vision, and boldness. But that version can only rise if you bury the fear that's been keeping it chained. So in these 2 days, fast if you must, pray deeper, speak less, listen more, and watch how everything starts to rearrange around your yes. Chosen one, this is your divine wake-up call. No more waiting, no more watching, no more wondering. The heavens are open. Your name is echoing in spiritual realms. But favor without movement is forfeited, and breakthrough without obedience is delayed. This is not the season to hesitate. This is the season to act. You were not chosen to blend in. You were chosen to break cycles, walk in boldness, and carry weight others ran from. And now it's time. Time to step into your authority. Time to respond with fire. Time to speak, move, and align like the warrior you were born to be. Don't just receive this message, respond to it. Don't just feel it, follow it. Don't just say amen, step into assignment. If your spirit knows this message was for you, then it's time to move. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now. Subscribe to Chosen Core for more messages straight from the throne to your spirit. And stay alert. Your moment is here, don't miss it.